In this lecture, we are going to study about Hall effect and its applications. This is lecture 6 of Unit 2, Semiconductor Physics. Now, what is Hall effect? When a piece of conductor, this could be a metal or a semiconductor, carrying current is placed in a transverse magnetic field. Transverse means perpendicular. So, it's placed in a perpendicular magnetic field. An electric field is produced inside the conductor in a direction normal to both the current and the magnetic field. This phenomenon is known as Hall effect, and the generated voltage is known as Hall voltage. Now, we shall see Hall effect in terms of a N-type semiconductor and in case of a P-type semiconductor. If the material is a P-type semiconductor, when electric and magnetic field is applied at a right angle to each other, holes experience a force and are accumulated on one face of the material. This causes a potential difference and a voltage is developed called as Hall voltage. Since in p-type holes are majority charge carriers. What about in n-type? In n-type we know that electrons are majority charge carriers. So if the material is an n-type semiconductor, when electric and magnetic field are applied at right angles to each other, electrons experience a force and are accumulated on one face of the material. This causes a potential difference and a voltage is developed called as Hall voltage. Now this diagram over here shows the circuit diagram for Hall effect. This is the Hall element, a material. It could be a conductor or a semiconductor. And this is the direction of the current flow. This circuit will have a battery in it. So only then a current will start flowing. And you can see the magnetic field and the current are perpendicular to each other. Then this side can be called as phase 1 and this side can be called as phase 2. So this is where there's a deflection of electrons or holes and a potential difference is generated over here. Then we can measure the Hall voltage due to this potential difference. Now consider a n-type semiconductor in which electrons have a velocity v due to current flow. Let B be the applied magnetic field. The electrons experience a force of B into E into V due to the magnetic field. This causes the electron current to be deflected, causing a negative charge to accumulate on one face of the semiconductor. A potential difference is established across the two faces of the material, causing a field EH. This field gives rise to a force E into EH, where small e is the charge of the electron. So it gives rise to a force E into EH on the electrons. At equilibrium, we can say small e into EH is equal to B into E into V. Or from this we get EH is equal to BV. Let us take it as some expression number 1. If J is a current density, then J is equal to N into E into V, where N is the number of charge carriers. From this expression we can get V is equal to J divided by NE. We can take it as some expression number 2. Substitute the value of V from expression number 2 in expression number 1. So what do we get? EH, which is equal to B into V, now becomes EH is equal to V into J divided by NE. The Hall effect is described by means of Hall coefficient RH, where RH is equal to 1 by NE. Therefore now EH, which is equal to B into J by NE, can be written as EH is equal to B into J. Instead of 1 by NE, we write it as RH. So what are the various ways of calculating RH? RH is equal to 1 by NE, which is equal to EH divided by BJ. where RH is called as the Hall coefficient. Now, what are the various applications of Hall effect? The first one we can see is determination of the type of semiconductors. The Hall coefficient RH is negative for N-type semiconductor and positive for P-type semiconductor. Thus, the sign of Hall coefficient can be used to determine whether a given semiconductor is N-type or P-type. Next, calculation of carrier concentration. We know that RH is equal to minus 1 by Ne. Minus sign if it is a N-type semiconductor. Magnitude wise, now N is equal to 1 by E into RH. From this we can calculate the number of electrons if you know the Hall coefficient. Next, we can determine the mobility. If the conduction is due to electrons, then the conductivity is given by sigma is equal to Ne into mu, where we know that mu is the mobility, or mu is equal to sigma divided by Ne, and we know that 1 by Ne is the Hall coefficient. So this becomes equal to sigma into RH. From this we can calculate the mobility of the electrons. Likewise, we can measure the magnetic flux density. Hall voltage is proportional to the magnetic flux density B for a given current I. So Hall effect can be used to measure magnetic flux density in metals. So in this particular lecture, we have studied what is Hall effect and what are the various applications of Hall effect.